Why not?
If you want to, for your minutes.
Well, these are going to be the minutes.
Because we posted, oh, okay. I'm just saying for the purposes of making it an open meeting, because you have to either give out the address, the Zoom link, or record and post the recording.
Right.
I gave out the Zoom address.
Yeah, unfortunately, the recording, I edited it in an old video software on my laptop, and it turned out it was versions old, and I couldn't render it. So I'm upgrading to the next version of the software.
I mean, the last minutes.
Oh yeah, I'll re-edit it and then have it ready to upload.
Okay, so you understand what I'm saying? In terms of the open meeting, we don't have to.
Yeah.
So are you gonna do some transcription or just post the recording?
I was just gonna post the recording and see if we could get away with that. But
I think you can. I mean,
it might have access issues, so I might send it away for transcription and just, you know, put that on my transcription account, and then because what I can do is I can put it in as captions. I can get it transcribed and then load it into the software as captions, so it's captioned.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
It's great. Does a human transcribe it?
You send, well, yeah, they send it, you send it off to, you send it up to the cloud, to this company, and then they send it to some nice lady in Omaha or someplace. And then it usually takes like 2 days, and then it's back. I've been using it for years for work, you know, because we do video training, or I used to.
That's amazing. So what is this chroma key thing called behind you?
Oh, my background?
Yeah.
That's my background.
Because we know you're at the beach.
That's the Bahamas. That was some time ago. I could make it, as I was saying earlier, I can do something maybe a little more, I don't know.
Oh, I like the beach, Andy.
Oh, you like the beach? This is the Bibliotekat in Stockholm.
I don't know. I kind of like the library. I haven't been to a library in a while.
Isn't that a nice library? Oh, and then also, well, you know, we can go with the reading room at the BPL if you want.
Whatever you want. Stockholm was nice, yeah. How is everybody?
I'm living.
You're good? How's your son?
Well, he's, you know, it's interesting. He's fired up about school, and he's doing it. And, did a monologue on his computer downstairs. You know.
Did he write it or perform it, or both?
Perform it. He's in he has an acting class.
Do you know what the monologue is?
He does have a creative writing class, but I don't know what he's using as a monologue right now.
That's cool. Very cool. Brad, how you doing?
Hanging in there.
Rachel?
Hanging in there too. Yeah.
Are you still going into the library?
Yeah, I'm here now, as you can see.
Nice. It's like your office now. It's great.
Yeah, although as I came in today, I thought the library is sad. It feels very sad to not have its people coming in and out.
Right.
It's getting sad.
Yeah. Hi, Beth.
Hello.
Hi, Beth. How are you doing?
She hasn't linked up audio yet.
She's still getting connected.
There she is.
I went to the other meeting.
Oh, yeah, no. The chair seemed to want Zoom, so I went for Zoom.
How are you, Beth?
Hangout. I was hanging out in Hangout. Sorry.
How is my Hangout today?
Oh, are we in Hangout or Zoom?
No.
Zoom.
Yeah.
How are you, Beth?
You know, insane. How are you?
Yeah.
Fine. Is your whole family there?
Yes. I have, let's see, 4 other grown-ups and a 3-year-old.
Is it fun?
What?
Is it fun?
Most of the time. Yeah, no, it's okay. How is everyone else?
Pretty good.
You look great there. Hey.
I feel like I'm in a really privileged bubble. You know, we get to go out and walk. It's beautiful here. I think I spend, 2 hours a day trying to figure out how to get groceries. That's the hard thing. How to get them and where to get them from and all that.
I've been doing a lot of Taft and a lot of Sean Stanton.
You mean the Berkshire Organics?
No, Sean is over on just around the corner from Main Street in Housatonic.
Oh, yeah.
He has his farm stand.
What does he have, Andy? Because I've been meaning, is it in the little building in front?
Yeah, the little building. You help yourself.
What does he have?
He has beef, pork, chicken, eggs, yogurt, milk, both pasteurized and non-pasteurized. Occasionally, some of the local farms like Indian Line and stuff bring their spring vegetables there. Like I got
I'm definitely gonna check it out. Definitely, yeah.
I forgot about that.
And then you just Venmo them the money, or you can leave a check or cash or whatever.
Right.
I use Venmo, which is like,
yeah, I have Venmo.
I love getting my beef through Venmo.
Yeah.
It's funny, I tried to do it on my computer, but evidently you can't. You have to do Venmo on your phone.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Only, yeah.
And then Taft has been doing, what he did is Paul tapped into the commercial, all the restaurant supply distribution network. And so he's getting like all this, like he got several sides of Newski smoked bacon. He's selling it for about $1 less a pound than Guido's does. You just call ahead and tell them to cut like a couple. I want a pound, I want a pound and a half. You call ahead, they slice it, go and pick it up.
I'm really happy because we want them to stay in business, and they had such a rough time with the bridge.
Well, I talked to Farmer Dan the other day. He was harvesting horseradish. And he said they're doing actually better than they were doing before this happened.
Oh my gosh. What do you call the bacon?
There was a lot of cars in the parking lot lately.
Yeah. What kind of bacon is it?
Newski. It's a company out in the Midwest. They're in, I want to say they're in Michigan or Wisconsin, one of the two.
I thought you were.
Best smoked bacon ever.
The monks of Newski. Okay. That's great because Bill has a hankering for bacon, and I keep saying nah, but I think that's a good idea.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
They sell it for $10 a pound over at Guido's. It's $8.50 a pound at Taft.
Wow. Okay. I'm writing it down.
A pound is a lot of bacon.
It's a lot.
Maybe not in my house, but in most.
I can go through a pound of bacon pretty darn fast.
Yeah, I see. I was shaking heads.
Abby and I would go through that quite quickly, actually.
We're huge fans of bacon too at my house.
Well, I have a recipe now that's been going around. It's a bacon cup with chocolate in the middle and with whiskey. So it's whiskey, chocolate, bacon.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, there will emerge some really strong businesses from this horrific time, which is a good thing.
Well, hopefully more strong businesses than people with no businesses. You're the positive light, and I'm happy to hear somebody is.
Well, it's not my usual mode, but I have noticed that certain businesses, especially people with quality food, are just exploding. And people who can businesses that can adapt to serving customers in a slightly different way are really, if they can figure out how to scale up to deliver or do curbside or any of that, are really doing well. Not restaurants, unfortunately. So it's kind of interesting. Well, that's more interesting than library stuff, but okay, let's talk about library stuff. Rachel, so we don't have any minutes, but do you want to take us through all your fascinating reports here and tell us what you and Brad have been doing and how you've been doing it and what's going on and what people are calling in for?
Yeah, fewer calls and emails than we would hope for. But in the last couple of days, I've talked with at least one person each day who needed some specific help with accessing online books. So that has felt like a reason for being. And, you know, we're tracking how many email messages and requests come in, and we've issued, from here, I've issued a couple of library accounts to people. And, but taking a look at my report, I wanted to show you all the ebook and audio and video and magazine usage. You know, it doesn't seem to be rising that much. From February to March, it rose quite a bit, but if you look out over, this is the system overall, of course, if you look out over the whole year, from July 2019, it's not that huge a fluctuation. You can see it gets high at certain months anyway. And that is echoed by our results. You can see that for comparing March 2019 to March 2020, yes, if you just break out ebooks, I've combined the two ebook statistics, 45 March 2020 compared to, March 2019, excuse me, compared to 52 for this year in March. And then so far this month, we've got 37 ebooks. So maybe by the end of April, we will see a striking difference. But I think people are probably generally overwhelmed. They are flooded with other tasks to occupy them. But maybe some of the reader activity will increase. With that in mind, this week I responded to, it's not in my my report as printed, but I responded to the West Stockbridge Village Association, who are posting an ad for updating their webpage, and I added three links, one to the Boston Globe, one to the New York Times, and let's see, the third one may have been the Boston Public Library e-card. So I wanted to cover it again in another place so that people would see who may not have seen that in another location. Oh yeah, excuse me. So that was a Village Association promotion that the current local yokel is doing. So we'll have a double presence in the yokel for May, where I iterate pretty much the same stuff. Yeah.
Are they publishing? They're publishing in May.
I don't know if it's going to be in print. So I've made my local yokel entry with active links in case it goes it's distributed virtually again.
Well, they also have a snail mail distribution. So they may do print.
They do. I don't know, do you have to pay for the, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's really cheap. Yeah. So,
Okay.
they may continue that. So, you know, I'm wondering if it's worth reminding people that you are there to help with research.
Yes.
They can call you and ask you to research things, right?
People can, and we have less of, of course we have far less of that than an academic library.
But it is worth remembering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is worth reminding people.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you can, in the yokel or otherwise. Because I think people forget what librarians can do. you know, it's not just about borrowing books, although of course we all miss that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, as a tiny public library, I'm feeling how the bulk of our users are in an older age demographic. So that many of them, the ones who are not using technology, are the hardest hit right now.
Yes, I know. Somebody wanted Bill to come over and set him up on a computer. But he's not, I mean, obviously he's not going to somebody else's house to do that. But I felt really bad for the man because he's probably really isolated. You know, if he's.
And there are parts of our town that don't have decent, if any, connectivity anyway. So those people are really out, completely out on their own.
Yeah, I can tell you that the school committee or the school district has been actively going out and making sure that kids that didn't have computers, we basically distributed all the Chromebooks that were in the schools have been now distributed out to the students who didn't have access.
Are all students covered?
Yeah, there's been a direct contact in between the middle school and the elementary school. There's been direct contact with all but 2 families, I think.
That's great.
Where they actually had either a guidance counselor has been out to them. In one case, they had to go over to New York State for a couple families. Yeah. High school is a little bit different because they weren't organized. Their curriculum wasn't organized the same way. So they have, you know, they're based on periods as opposed to team teaching.
Right.
What the elementary and middle school have been doing.
But if they don't have internet at their house and they have a computer, it's quite limiting in terms of being able to, right? They're not, you know.
Yes, you have to come up with ways to get around that, no doubt about that.
Right, yeah. They have to go somewhere. Is the library open? Nothing's open at the school, I guess, at Monument.
The Wi-Fi is running, but yeah, no, nothing's open.
Yeah. Right.
All the buildings are closed.
Can the school Wi-Fi be reached from the parking lot?
Yeah.
I know some people are doing that, not necessarily there, but in other towns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's happening down at Ramsdale. I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really? I didn't know there was great internet there.
Yeah, Ramsdale runs a pretty good network.
That's interesting.
The problem
where people are parking in front of their house because their internet goes out to the sidewalk. So people drive up and down the road and look to see
if it's not locked.
Yeah, who has an open internet and there's no password.
If you have a cell phone, you can also tether. You can tether directly to the cell phone. Most plans allow that now.
Yeah, right.
Rachel, is there anything else you want to cover?
The other things that I have shown you are, of course, you can see continuing education events that I have gone to and still expect to go to. And I also want to turn it over to Brad to bring you up to date about his research on our website and also switching to a new host when our Google account expires. And it's a long, long story about our Google account because Roland Dudney set it up and there was no trail for us. And therefore we're shut out of being the administrator for our website. Mm-hmm. So long story, but just looking ahead, our decision that Brad and I are working on is whether to switch over and restart our Google account come June when it expires, or go to a new host. So go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, so I contacted Google and had many, many, many conversations and emails with them. We believe that the super admin on our account was Roland Dudney, who has since passed. And it's really difficult to get Google to let somebody else be the super admin. I don't know if a trustee would be even enough to get them to do it. Really, really complicated, including death certificates and all of that. So right now, I mean, we can adjust the main content on the page, but we can't change the way the page itself really looks. We don't have access to the CSS, the style sheets to change anything like that. We can't get rid of the left-hand navigation. A lot of the things that are on the website are there because that's the way they were set up, and we can't change them. So yeah, a lot of emails back and forth, and a phone call too. I got Google to call me, which was fun.
That's pretty amazing.
I thought so. Reluctant, but they did it.
Let me know when Zuckerberg calls you.
That he's my next one. So we have our webpage may be the sort of grandfathered in, so we don't have to pay for the actual web. We have to pay for the address, the West Stockbridge Library. That somebody is paying for that. But as far as other stuff, we're sort of grandfathered in. So somebody may have paid for that, but we don't know who. Especially considering the fact that Roland died last May, and our webpage expires in June of this year. So don't know if there's money somewhere that is going to fund that again or not.
So your thought as to what you'd like to do?
So I've been looking at numerous options. I'd found a theme, a library-based theme called Scientia, where we could purchase the theme, plug our content in, and then there's the question of who hosts it, whether it's hosted through WordPress on. I'm not entirely sure how that all works. I'm still working on that.
On WordPress, probably hosted on some other A2 or GoDaddy or something.
Well, who does the town of West Stockbridge use?
Right. My question too.
They, I think, are a Google site as well.
Oh, really?
I think, but I'm not.
At the bottom of the town website, it states that it is a government website by Civic Plus trademark.
But that might be the designer, not the host.
Okay.
Right.
So you're saying because we can't administer the site, we can't really manage the site, we want to close it down and build a new site? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Basically, yeah. Whether we can keep our domain name or we have to create another domain name, weststockbridgelibrary.org, is also a question. Basically, the guy from Google said when it expires it expires June 3rd. So when it expires or around that time, get a hold of them and they will see whether or not it can be released, whether we can purchase it.
Well, the name of the domain could be yours. I mean, the library may have bought the domain name separately. So for example, my site, janebenjulian.com, I bought that from the big daddy of where you buy sites from, but it's hosted, for example, on A2. So the host and where you buy the domain name are not necessarily the same thing.
Right. But we don't know if who owns it. Right now, what we know is that it is, I forget the actual wording, but it's locked. So it's not available to purchase right now.
Right, because you
Not
own,
until June.
could be that you own it, you just can't find any kind of documentation. That's crazy. Okay.
Mhm.
And it seems like there was 4 accounts created on the weststockbridgelibrary.org domain.
Right.
One is info, that's an email account. One is Roland Dudney. One is the Lee Applebaum, and I don't remember what the 4th one was.
Crazy. So Google can't help you till June 3rd, and you don't even know what kind of help they'll have to offer. That's really
Pretty much, yeah.
because
I-
they didn't figure all that out.
I just went and looked at Civic Plus,
Me too.
and they're a hosting, they're design hosting, so I have a feeling we could probably get into, and it would make more sense to the West Stockbridge site. But
I mean, just add some pages to the West Stockbridge site.
yeah, so you should be able to see, I'm sharing the
Okay.
site if you can see it there.
Huh?
I see
So,
it.
so yeah, that's kind of what they do. Here's the West Stockbridge site itself. Everyone still see that? And if I take you over to the library.
Bacon chocolate shot glasses.
You
Bacon.
like that? I mean, I sent it to Brad. If you want it, I'll send it to you too. But anyway, so this is the library page.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, I mean, wouldn't we just simply use, if we could get control of this page, simply use this page? I mean, who has control of this page?
Bill Biggs is the administrator for the town website.
All right.
So he could give you administrative privileges for the library site theoretically, or I don't know. You may have to ask him that. Because yeah,
I'm assuming this is a content management system that they're just using a template within a CMS to do
I
that.
do edit. I have a login, and the content you're looking at is put up by me in within the frames that Bill has set up. So I don't have free reign to make it look different from the other pages, as far as I understand it.
but content you can change.
Yeah. Mhm.
So why would you need an additional site?
We find that this format is a little bit limiting. We want a little bit more freedom,
Okay.
but we don't have the Google Analytics because we're not the administrator. So we don't know whether it's foolish to spend money on a Google, a different.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no way to override that, period?
Months ago, I spent time contacting Google, turned up the same information as Brad. So this is why during this time, I asked him to have a go as well. And
Well,
it just
yeah.
spiraled. Yeah.
In terms of the domain name, just the name,
Right.
I'm pretty sure there's a way to research who owns names. And you may own it. The library may own it.
There is a way to see. There's a way to see if it is owned or if it's available. It is not available. Somebody owns it. I don't really know who.
You just don't know. Okay.
Right.
Hopefully there was a way to find that out, but yeah, okay. I'll ask somebody that question. Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So you're looking for a way to have your own created site, maybe even linked to the town site, right?
It currently is. The town library page currently has a link to the page that we have.
What I have done is reached out to, and I'm waiting on a response from Bill, to see if we can see how many people have clicked on the library site from the town page, so that the library portion of the town page, and then to see if we can see, if he can see how many people have clicked on the link to the actual page, the actual library web page that is on the
Yeah.
town site. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he may have some ideas too. Have you talked to him about this?
Not yet, but
Also, is there a link to the Facebook page from the town page?
No, but I'll correct that
'Cause,
immediately.
I mean, anything we can do to get Vicky some exposure. I share every time I see it come through. I share it.
Thank you.
I have somebody in Hawaii who's just in love with Vicky.
She has got a wonderful presence online, just unique and special.
yeah, and so if we had a page that we could actually really work with, we could make it look good on the page. You know, the Vicky's videos. If you go to our website, I have put some up there, but I'm really limited in how I can make it display, because we just don't have access and control.
It's not an uncommon problem, you know, whoever's hosting has their own rules. And I know at Simon's Rock in the library, we had the same issue where we didn't have the control we needed over things we needed control over. And so it may be that going off, you know, I think what Andy found looks promising. To be able to really do something with it. When you want to do something and you know what the thing is and you can't do it, it's so frustrating.
Mhm.
Well, and Google is really restrictive on what they allow you to put on the site too.
Right.
Like we had discussed putting a chat or something on the website, and I found one that could be used, but Google doesn't allow things like that to be put on the website.
Right.
So
Wow. Huh,
there's a lot of learning here.
there is.
It's,
Okay.
Well, it might even make
really
sense to go with like a WordPress, you know, to try to switch over to a WordPress installation on, you know, just like forget Google and just like, because there's so much more flexibility with your own WordPress installation.
So that's what we've really been looking at doing.
Yeah, just buy, you know, and then if we have to change the domain name, well, we come up with something clever and West Stockbridge-y. You know?
And I looked at getting a domain name through Google, through GoDaddy. There are several of them. I mean, and it's relatively inexpensive. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
like $12 a year or something to have a domain name.
Right. Anybody can have one, basically.
I didn't know Google sold domain names.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I had no idea.
And they were pretty much the cheapest.
But then you have to host with Google probably.
No, you do not have to host from Google.
So you could put a WordPress.
Really?
Yep. Or you could do it all through WordPress.
Yeah.
It's just an upcharge.
Yeah. What's the other one? Is Weebly?
Weebly.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them.
I think I have a Weebly.
Squarespace.
I've abandoned my Weebly site.
Yeah, I'm assuming there are very few places where you can buy a domain name for the obvious reasons of all this duplication. But anyway, I didn't know Google was one of them. I find that really weird.
And like WordPress, if you do free, you know, the free version, and there is a free version,
Yeah.
you're really limited.
Yeah.
but it's like, it would be like West Stockbridge Library at WordPress
Right.
or .wordpress.com or something like that.
It is
Hmm.
nice just to have the .org.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
but
So,
if you pay for it, you can get rid of the WordPress part and, you know, do the .org. But
That would probably be worth it.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say, you know, I mean, the right way to go is put together a budget request around, you know, price it all, and then come back here and we have some money.
Mhm.
You know, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't support, you know, a planned out shift away from Google before June 3rd.
so the theme that I looked up, I mean, that's a one-time, it looks like a one-time charge,
Mhm.
which was, I think, like $60 to buy the theme. And then you have to find somewhere to host it.
Brad, when you say theme, you're talking about design? Visual
Yeah.
design, a visual look.
Yeah, it gives you you already start with a visual look that you can modify.
That's what you're calling a theme.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's library based, so it has library functionality.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Well,
So-
that seems worth doing, especially now when you have time to actually put into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the link would be from the library page on the town site to there.
Yes.
Correct?
That's a link to the theme. I just sent in the
Right.
chat.
Yeah.
The link from the West Stockbridge site or go directly in
Right.
stockbridgelibrary.org, which would be
Right.
really important.
Oh, so it is a WordPress theme then.
It is a WordPress theme.
So we get the domain from WordPress, and
Mhm.
then we drop the theme into WordPress. And
And then
if you want to share it, you're set to share, Brad. If you want to, I set everybody up to be able to share on screen.
Although,
I thought I did. I didn't realize it only
we
went to you.
figure out if you already own the name, because you don't have to buy it if you already own it. Just have to renew it.
And then it seems like the best way to go is like, was it Bluehost, I think, which hosts WordPress sites for, obviously for a fee. I don't know how much we need, but I think a relatively low level, inexpensive level.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, looking forward, it seems like almost a no-brainer to, move forward into something that's going to give, who knows where we're going in the world, that would give more flexibility.
Yeah.
The other thing is I spoke with BiblioCommons yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I don't know who they are.
They do the discovery layer on a lot of websites. So Boston Public Library's discovery layer is done through them.
Mhm.
And what they told me is, I mean, we're probably not big enough for them to even look at us. They were going to send me an email, but they haven't yet. But they did say that CW Mars, they're talking to CW Mars, Jeanette Lundgren at CW Mars, who's the director or something, about doing a BiblioCore for CW Mars. So down the road, it may be that CW Mars hosts the core and allows us to create web pages off of that, but nobody knows when or if that's going to happen. So,
And they will have their own rules and regulations.
of course.
But they've been very, very good.
So this is I'm sharing the screen. This is a demo of the Scientia Public Library that Brad sent me the link for. So you have library hours.
Yeah.
You have pages, library guides, borrow, renew.
Events. I mean, you can, on the top, I imagine you can put whatever you want in terms of your pages.
Right,
Right.
but it's already sort of set up for library, specifically for library use, so it would be easier.
Right.
That's great.
Mhm.
So looking forward to an update.
Well done, Brad.
Yeah, the drop-down menus look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. Do it. Go for it. Brad, let me just ask, are you, what's happening with school for you?
I have 2 more weeks.
So you're online now and then you graduate?
Yep.
That's great.
Congratulations in
May,
advance.
thank you. May 2nd is my last. Everything is wrapped up by May 2nd.
That was great.
Wow. That's terrific.
You have all this free time.
To build a website for the library.
Right.
Very cool.
And Rachel, so what about your volunteers? Who do you have and coming back, assuming the library opens up again soon?
Gail is standing by to come back. She's my primary volunteer.
Okay. And Vicky
That
is,
one and only. Hmm?
Vicky is more or less gone because Brad is, am I right about that? Or is Vicky coming back online?
She will retake her.
Okay, rejoin her hours, I see.
Right. So the 2 of them split the 12 hours on a 2/3 to Vicky, 1/3 to Brad regularly. So that's because he was a student this year. I mean, things are changing, but
Right.
as soon as we began staying home, Vicky volunteered to let Brad work her hours, and her work offering stories is purely volunteer, which is absolutely very selfless and kind.
Right. So I may be behind the 8 ball on this, but in terms of your request to the town, where does that stand for additional monies for your staff?
Well, I looked at the select board meeting minutes for the past 2 meetings, and I did not see anything mentioned. So now what I have to look at, I guess, is the town warrant that's going to the town meeting night.
You've rescheduled the town meeting, right?
Town meeting is rescheduled, so I'm hoping the warrant is up on the town website, so that I think that's where I can find whether our full request has been forwarded to the folks in town.
Yeah,
And
I wondered,
do you know anything about that?
I went to the last meeting. Was it the last one? I
There
went
was,
to the last one and it was not mentioned. I was surprised. It was a conference call.
Oh, okay.
and then there was a meeting on April 1st, and I didn't see any record other than town. Marie presented it to the select board, and it was forwarded without discussion. So it's in the hands of the townsfolk at the meeting.
Okay. Does Andy, do you know, I've heard some talk about there being a market in the spring. Do you know if there's going to be the open air market?
I have not heard. I mean, under the current circumstances, I can't imagine that they're going to do it.
I can't either. I can't remember who I thought I heard say there was going to be a market. Of course, it could, who knows, it might come back in the summer.
That's very possible, yeah.
So I wondered, you still,
I haven't proceeded on any of those actions, no.
we might want to, I mean, you don't need to do it tomorrow, but we might want to do that sometime before June to make sure if we have a July, August market, we can have our tiny library.
Everything I've gotten from the many, kind of arts groups, which I'm sure everybody's gotten, the earliest opening date I've seen is August 1st. So it could be that it will open in August. Yeah.
Great.
I don't see anything here on their website about town meeting or
No,
or the rescheduled caucus, because
Oh
we
my God.
didn't do the caucus, so I can't be on the ballot until
Right, me
until
too.
we do the caucus.
Right, I thought I got an email about a rescheduled town meeting. Did I imagine that?
I am,
In Great Barrington, they rescheduled.
yeah, that's in June.
I
Yeah.
didn't email. Oh,
I don't see it either. I'm on the town website as well.
okay.
Does that mean they're still planning for May 4th or whenever it was supposed to be?
I don't think so.
I can't imagine. I mean, they'd have to do it virtually, and
Right.
well, I couldn't see that.
No, no.
Yeah.
There's too
I
many.
don't think legally they can do it virtually.
Aha, that's interesting too.
I'm on a board. I'm on a board in Richmond, and that got brought up that there's a lot of things you can't legally do virtually.
Yeah, there's no warrant posted, so.
Okay.
Right.
It was here,
Is it-
right?
If there's a vote, they can't do it virtually unless they specifically vote to be able to do it virtually.
Rachel, I wanted to just ask you about the strategic plan. Is that something you submit in order to get more funds from MBLC? Because I noticed they extended the deadline for the strategic plan.
Yes, I have not been contacted about, I will double check. There was one done. They're not required. They're required at certain intervals, and I don't know if we've reached that yet or not, but I'll check.
Well, let us know if you want help with that.
I definitely, that's one bit of our records that I was able to locate. So I can see the past one and we can work from there. Thank
What
you.
year was that, Rachel? What year was the last one?
Let me just check. I keep it pretty handy on my desktop, I think. It might be 10 years because the previous long range plan, if this is the same as a strategic plan, was 2011.
Mhm.
Really? Wow, that's a long
A while
interval.
ago.
Yeah, that sounds wrong. So probably overdue.
Yeah. Well, I know there was one originally due in the fall. And I think the deadline, I think I saw an email that said that deadline has been extended.
Was it due from us, or was that just speaking to whoever had a due date for that?
It was a general email, but it might be worth your checking.
I'm going to, yes, will do.
Well, the two things I'm taking from this meeting are, I really want to find out if you can do any more deep research on a domain name. I'm going to ask a couple of people about, like, who has it, who owns it. And the other thing is about Taft's Bacon. That's the other thing.
I was going to say, I knew that was going to be the other thing.
It's a takeaway.
I was waiting. I knew that was coming. I'm going to do that too. And I'm a vegetarian.
Yes. But I can make exceptions, yeah.
Well, in emergencies, you know.
Like for good bacon.
Right. Could be
I
the
think
end of the
my
world.
son came home from college. He was a vegetarian. A few weeks with me,
It's
not
got-
so much.
How's Julia?
She's doing okay.
No swimming, that's weird.
Yeah, yoga in the kitchen in front of the kitchen computer in the morning. But
Yeah.
pretty soon the lakes will be warm enough. She'll throw on her
Wetsuit.
wetsuit and she'll be in the lakes.
Yes.
So I just shared where you can look up a domain name,
Oh, right, okay. And?
and it brings up all kinds of information. I just don't really know how to read it.
Give me that again, I'll get Bill to do it. I can?
Yeah, it says the registrant is who is agent, and I don't know what that means.
All right, what was the email address? ican.com?
I posted it on the lookup.ican.org, lookup.
On the chat.
It's on the chat.
The group chat.
Right, I just lost it for some weird reason. Okay. Okay. Ah!
Yeah, I just lost everything. Not everything, but
Me too. Andy must have done something.
I'm sharing my screen again.
I forgot.
Yeah, so if you just type in weststockbridgelibrary.org
Right.
and hit enter, it brings up all kinds of stuff about it.
Oh,
The whole history of it.
domain name?
Yep.
Oh, who owns it?
it's,
It doesn't say. At least not that I can see.
Let's see.
oh, the
Well, it's because,
WIS agent,
yeah, the
privacy protection.
Kirkland, Washington.
It may have something to do with the town.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
that's some serious XML there.
Woo!
I'm a little rough at XML. Can you read that for us, Andy?
Yeah, my XML. Actually, I have a class coming up in about a week or so. So I'll let you know. No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going
But
on.
it does say, if you go up to the top, it does say that it's not transferable.
Right.
It's down just a little bit.
We own it, whether the library owns it.
It could be the town owns it, and because it said something about something protection service.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the town contracting with someone.
It
Would
could.
someone in the town know?
That would be Bill.
Yeah,
Who would know that in the town?
Bill Biggs.
Another question for Bill.
Yeah, yet another question for Bill.
Brad, if you talk to him, will you ask him that?
I will.
Like, he may not know, but maybe he knows who we should ask. Because I'm just thinking if we own it, we could save ourselves some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We could just renew it.
Welcome to Tipsy Bartender. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
here we are, the chocolate bacon shot.
Ooh. Wow.
People are really pent up. A couple of people have said to me today, boy, when this is over, I'm going to have a party.
I've had a lot of people say, boy, I'm going to have a drinking problem when this is over.
Oh.
Okay, so Madam Chair, when do we meet again?
Okay, well, let's move to adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
I think-
I make a motion. No, shouldn't we set the
let's
meeting?
schedule it first, and
Yeah,
then
schedule the meeting and then adjourn.
Okay, how about, let's see, what's 4 weeks from today? 1, 2, 3, 4. How is,
I'm looking at my calendar.
me too. How is Friday the 15th?
That's when we're supposed to open up again.
yeah, right.
That's gonna happen.
The
Friday,
next time we're not opening up. Friday the 15th at 5 o'clock?
yeah, that sound good?
Sure.
I
Yeah,
have no particular plans.
All right, Andy, do you want to send a Zoom invite?
I will.
Thank you. And anybody have anything interesting before then? Let's talk.
Okay, so I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
So be it.
Although, hang on. I gotta have a better screenshot for that part.
Oh, you got something else?
Of course.
I thought that was your best. It was so good.
California.
I second the motion.
Okay.
In California.
That's the ferry to Alcatraz.
Oh, I've been on that ferry. Okay,
It seems-
great. Well, stay well and healthy, everybody.
Yeah, stay well.
You
Okay.
too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Miss you all.